these are going to be wide receivers that we're going to highlight that can win you leagues. Avoid Jamar Chase, man. It's not going to be popular. I'm going to get dogged for it, but
he has come out and said that he does not believe Burrows will be ready for game 1. Yeah, but who's their backup quarterback?
I don't even know. Oh,
There's nothing wrong with Cooper Kupp. I just don't believe that there's going to be that combination of him staying healthy and Stafford staying healthy. The rookie they drafted has shown out in camp that
hey, what the?
hey, we had a chorus of Hayes.
That was
good. Leave that in there. Come
No,
on.
thought we're keeping that in. Welcome back, everybody, to Guys on Sports.
Well, not you. Welcome back, Zach and Mark.
Yeah, welcome back.
Welcome
guys.
back, Mark.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Zach. The whole panel is here today. We have a great show for you planned. Before we get started, we have a few guests for the. We have guests for the entire month of August, and then also leading into September. Rocky, who is our first guest that you'll be seeing him next week.
Abo Nsua,
Yeah.
who's a former high school football player who went on to walk on at Florida State and won a national championship with them in Jameis.
Yeah, so we'll be talking to him for today, though. We're going to be breaking down, since we're getting right into the beginning of the season almost, we're going to be doing like the ultimate guide. Like if you missed the offseason from us, these are the videos you want to watch. Wide receiver 101. Not really, I don't know what we're branding it as, but we're going to be going through the first round, what wide receivers to not take. We're going through rounds 2 through 5, what receivers we would target. Then we're also going into a late round target on who we would take a flyer on, wide receiver specifically. Did I miss anything on that? Just want to make sure.
No,
I think
you got everything.
All right,
Yeah, way to go.
So we're gonna go right into the TikTok takes, which I don't know if we have a button for that, but I'm gonna cheer again. Woo!
Time to check my social media, yeah. To see who loves me online.
Yay! All right, Dylan Collins specifically targeted Rocky on TikTok.
Oh,
I forget the take. I think it was about Aaron Rodgers winning another MVP or
Rocky
something
in
like
the
that.
crosshairs.
But Dylan Collins said, "Put him in a dark room."
Yeah.
Put him in the dark room. Actually,
Yeah.
I like that, but I don't agree with him. I don't know if I agree with you either, but
I don't know if that was a take though, or if that was what the comment was from.
Yeah.
I just remember the comment.
It sounded bad. I know that.
Yeah. Hey, well, we'll flip that around. And
thank you, Dylan.
This guy's username is just period. Said guy from Cleveland is always the classiest in the room. So
And he's right. This
Is the
guy's-
room the dark room? Is
This
it not?
guy's
the dark
spitting
room?
truth.
The guy's name is Period, first off.
And it's a picture of
Secondly,
like 3 dudes.
just like I responded on there, your slogan is no sausage left behind.
That's not classy.
That's not classy.
That's not my slogan.
It's far
That
from
is.
classy.
Yeah, you said you
Never
never
say no.
met a sausage you don't
Never
like.
say no to sausage.
I'm
Same
pretty
shit.
sure.
That's the slogan.
Tomato,
never,
tomato.
About the
Never
same.
say no to sausage, which I still stand behind.
Much classier.
Speaking of
Much
sausage,
classier.
hey, if you ever thought, why my wireless bill so high, let me tell you about Mint Mobile. We're partnering with for today's video. Now with an extra special offer for our channel, if you sign up before July 14th using our link, you can get their unlimited plan, which is normally $30 a month for just $15 a month. That's 50% savings off their already super low price.
You might already know Mint Mobile if you've seen those funny ads from Ryan Reynolds, who is also an owner.
Hey there, it's Ryan Reynolds, owner of Mint Mobile.
But let me quickly tell you how awesome their service is.
Why should you pay more than you have to for access to the same network?
All Mint Mobile plans include unlimited nationwide talk and text, plus lightning fast 5G and free mobile hotspot.
Switching to Mint is super easy thanks to their digital eSIM cards that you can sign up and activate immediately right on your phone from the comfort of your own home.
Worried your phone isn't compatible? Mint's got you. If your phone isn't eSIM compatible, Mint will ship you a new SIM card for free.
Use our link to get started or click the link in our description. Scan our QR code. It helps out our channel. Oh, man, I missed you guys. But, Mark, I wanted to know, how's that V-Shreddy going?
The V-Shred?
Yeah.
So this is not good that he's bringing this up. See,
I don't know this. I'm out of the loop here.
The V shred.
He was
Doing the V shred. I'm getting my.
you're getting-
I'm getting my.
You're getting cut?
back
my
in March.
diet
He was
on.
waiting for his V shred. I'm just wondering where you're at with
Oh,
it.
that's like a ab machine.
I put it on pause, but I am still down. I'm still down 15.
Nice,
But
good
you
job,
know,
man.
summer comes along.
Yeah,
and
but that's
But
mountain.
that's- you were running from bears. Is that mountain weight?
What's like mountain time?
Mountain
it was,
weight.
man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. It came off in the mountains. Holy shit, man.
I bet.
Everything is it's a fucking to do in the mountains. Just
Probably thought you were a bear up there, like Sasquatch or
get
something.
into your car.
Maybe
that's
that's
parked
why
like
it's-
40 feet above like where you're sleeping. Like it's ridiculous.
Maybe that's why so many bears were coming around. Were you walking around no shirt?
mating
Albino.
season.
He's
Hair.
albino
Of
bear.
course I was. It was my musk,
It's like
man.
They thought it was a polar bear.
It was my musk. They
Like-
could
Musk.
smell that. They fucking
You thought it
they
was a
could
bear.
relate.
Instead of Krusty Mark, it should be
They
like
come-
Krusty Must.
They come in
Or
and
Krusty
they,
Musk.
Musk.
they come in and they they're trying to snuggle. They're just trying to snuggle Papa Bear.
Speaking of, a lot of people were not trying to snuggle with you with your running back list.
Whoa.
They were coming at you.
It's because they're a bunch of idiots.
This person specifically, their name is Cheen, Cheen.
Alrighty, this is already bad.
They put NO running back. Just that's it.
Yeah.
No running back. Probably New Orleans running back, but they didn't. No question mark. No period. No. It just no running back.
What was that in reference to? They're still
don't know.
going on that
They're just.
They just put no running back.
running back list.
So then I put yes running back, and then they went no. That made me chuckle. So
Yes, they were playing.
yeah,
they were playing back.
Yeah.
and
So
forth.
Cheen, thanks for being a good
Yeah.
sport.
Yeah.
Way
Most,
to go, Gene.
Thanks,
most
Gene.
of our listeners are pretty good sports.
Yeah, we
Maybe
have some
think
good.
about changing your name, Gene.
We have some good apples in there. So yeah, thank you for commenting. Continue to comment. G1 Podcast wherever you follow social medias currently. Without further ado,
Come on, baby. I need you this week. It's your time. Time for a breakout.
They missed that. You guys missed it, didn't you?
yeah, I heard it. I don't know if you guys thought I was like under a rock for 4 weeks, but I was editing. I was on the laptop hearing you guys' voice.
No, you weren't here.
A few hours every day.
Doesn't count.
I felt like I was here.
That's not.
If we don't see you,
It's not being
I
here.
was here in spirit.
Yeah, but if you don't see you, then you don't exist.
So wide receivers.
And
what
how do
you
we
need
know?
to
How do we know that you're
Never
the one
mind.
doing the editing?
Yeah. What
Oh,
if it's?
yeah, how do we
maybe
know?
it's Samara.
You know, I'll do an outro for each. You know how like the Nuggets did like an outro for their social media clips for a little bit. I'll do one. It's like thanks for watching, and it's like me like like waving to the camera or something.
Or your cat, his little paw,
Yeah,
and you'll do a voice.
yeah. I'll knit like a sweater for it too.
Did you really get a cat
That's
calendar?
actually-
Yes.
Yeah, my parents actually did get me a cat
Yeah.
calendar.
You will knit a sweater, or you'll pick one out of the sweater closet that you already have.
Well,
for
this
the
will be a
cat.
specific sweater for outros, which I
Mark,
don't have
so
made.
it's like
yet.
a new
appreciate
sweater.
that.
Mark, you don't put cat sweaters on a hanger.
Mark
What are you,
doesn't
an
need-
animal.
Mark doesn't need a
drawer.
sweater.
He's got a drawer
Yeah, what
for
are
his
you-
cat sweaters.
You don't know your cat sweater etiquette?
Gosh.
Why would you fold it and put it in a drawer? You want it crisp and clean. You would put your cat sweater on a hanger, would you not?
Well, you know, I
Because
haven't
it-
thought about it because
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
your
do it.
hanger ruins sweaters, bro.
Yeah, like hang like.
Not if they're that light. 'Cause
It'll
I mean,
be-
they can't.
it'll
I
be
can't imagine they'd be
ill-fitting
heavy.
on-
Are you making heavy sweaters or are they
ill-fitting on
light
Zach's
sweaters?
cat.
I'm making it out of all the fur that I brush off them.
And
I think we're learning something here.
I think
Yeah.
think the
I think
joke's
he's got a little
stretching the
loom,
joke.
little loom, and he's putting.
I brush them.
Boom.
Yeah.
no, the joke is that he's making a cat sweater out of the cat's own hair, so he could have just not brushed the cat.
Yeah, you know, like that SpongeBob episode where he
It
makes
would've
a
been the
sweater out
sweater.
of eyelashes. He's like eyelashes, and then he makes one out of tears. No.
SpongeBob. It's a good take. I like SpongeBob.
Wide receivers, what you need to know about them, what you don't need to know about them, where to draft them, the whole 9 yards. We're going to start with Jamarcus Russell, our very own Krusty. I don't know where you want
Sock
to go with
puppet.
this, but
Krusty sock puppet, buddy.
I apologize.
Krusty sock puppet.
Krusty
You
sock
want to
puppet.
give the outline of what we're actually doing?
Yeah, break it down.
All
break
right.
it
So
down.
this is gonna be our wide receiver show. So
Yeah.
for reference, going into your drafts, these are going to be wide receivers that we're going to highlight that can win you leagues. We're going to start off. We're going to give you first round. Kind of speaks for itself. So what we decided to do is in the first round, we're going to give you a wide receiver to avoid at that wide receiver's value. Then we're going to give you wide receivers that you should target rounds 2 through 5. Then we're going to give you a mid-round receiver that you should target, so somewhere in the realm of 7 to 10. And then we're going to give you a late round steal that could potentially be a plug and play later in the season. Best ball leagues could put in a couple of really hefty games for you and win you some leagues.
And what website or what service are we using for our ADP?
So we are using. We're going to use RT Sports. Their
don't come at
ADP.
us.
Their ADP. We are also going to base this off of 12-man leagues. So we're looking at ADP with 12 selections per round. So again, some of that'll make sense if you sit down and put pen to paper with some of these selections that we're going to throw at you. All right, man. So with no further ado, I'm just going to come out and tell you in the first round for his value, avoid Jamar Chase, man. It's not going to be popular. I'm going to get dogged for it, but right now he's ADPing 2 to 3. I've seen him. I think the lowest I've seen him fall is 5, and that's usually super flex leagues. He never falls below 4, but he's routinely taken second or third. I just think that in 12-man leagues, with running back being as thin as it is, I think you can go out and get one of those top-tier dynamic running backs and come back in these following rounds and follow up with very, very solid receivers that aren't going to fall off the cliff from Jamar Chase. You miss out on that, if you take Chase in that 2-hole, that 3-hole, then you're missing out on that top-tier running back, and there is a cliff by the time it gets back to you at pick 22, 23.
What's the difference between, and maybe recently with Joe Burrow being injured for like the first 3 weeks of football or whatever it's going to be, what's the difference between, I think Chase and Jettis as far as fantasy production are pretty even. So like why Chase and not Jettis?
Well, first off, I don't like the injury concern with Burrow. I don't necessarily, again, like where he's. I'm not a huge fan of Jettis going one either, but Jettis does command that offense. Cincinnati's situation is a little bit different, right? They got T. Higgins, who was more than capable. They have Joe Mixon in the backfield. They have a solid wide receiver 3, and then again, just that not knowing if Burrow is going to be himself this year. So I think with that mixture of fantasy potion there, that it's probably in your best bet to avoid him that high.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they are saying Jamar has actually he has come out and said that he does not believe Burrows will be ready for game 1, and even if he thinks he is, he should not start.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the backup and the game plan is to feed Chase, right? Like get the ball to your best player.
Yeah, but who's their backup quarterback?
I don't even know. Oh,
And
it's isn't it like Trevor Siemian or something like that?
But right there, that's the issue. It's like
I
if you had
guess,
Jacoby
yeah.
Brissett maybe as a backup, somebody maybe even who's the other quarterback that's been around? He was in Minnesota. Anyways,
Nick Mullins?
now they're Chase or
Chase Daniel.
yeah, Chase.
Oh,
I mean,
think
there
they're
are
the Chargers now.
There are other quarterbacks that, as a second QB, I'd feel comfortable with. I don't know that I feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that pick 2, 3 because Jettis goes off the board 1 routinely. 2, 3. I'm taking McCaffrey.
Oh yeah, I agree. I would take a running back. I do respectfully disagree with you though. I think Chase has still gonna. Have
I'm
a good
not
year.
saying that Chase doesn't have a spot. Chase has to be taken there because Chase isn't coming back. But again, for the value, I'm not taking him there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and that's really what you're doing. You're
Yeah.
giving your feedback on what you're going to actually do in your draft.
He has to go there. I mean, he has to go up in the top 4 to 5, which you rarely see him.
I
fall
take him
to
at 4.
5.
I take him at 4 or 5, but I wouldn't take him at 2. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't know. I think with the value that you're going to see here coming back, that you can possibly, balk on him there, get your stud RB1 top 3 running back, and be happy. Round 2, guy I'm super high on. I am targeting. He's starting to creep into the first round occasionally, but he is still firmly cemented ADP round 2, and that's Garrett Wilson.
Yes.
I love Garrett Wilson. Great stat on him is with the production that he put out last year amongst qualifying wide receivers, he had the most uncatchable balls in the league.
Yeah, Flacco and Wilson.
So he had even the receptions that he came down with, the majority of them were also on deemed uncatchable balls, and he still came down and put up hella good numbers. And now with Aaron Rodgers, a prick in New Jersey, I think it's going to be a great duo. And I think the fact that they let Elijah Moore go, they have Mecole Hardman, they have Allen Lazard. They have a couple of pieces that are solid, but that Wilson is the lead dog there. And there's no question go out and get Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
Yeah, I think
I have
he's
no pushback.
Yeah. No, yeah, he's
Should I just keep going? All right,
Yeah.
we'll just keep going.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Round 3, another guy I'm high on, and again, he's starting to creep into the end of the second round. But again, ADP firmly cemented in the third. That's another Ohio State product. That's Chris Olave. I love Olave in New Orleans.
It's the Ohio State.
Derek Carr, I just read an interesting stat on him. Each of the last 4 years, he's produced a top 5 either receiver or tight end. I don't think Taysom Hill or Jawan Johnson is going to be top 5 tight ends. So guess what? That means that top 5 Chris Olave wide receiver potentially. I like the fact that Mike Thomas is back and supposedly healthy. I like Rashid Shaheed. They're gonna take a lot of pressure off of Chris Olave and let Chris Olave do what he does best, and that is just run crisp routes, get down the field, and we all know that Carr does have a cannon and is accurate and will be able to hit Olave a bunch.
Yeah, I feel really good about that pick. Olave was somebody who, if he had not been injured, there's actually 2 players, Damian Pierce, Chris Olave, who, if they had not been injured for the last part of the season, they would have every bit been in the discussion for Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, and that's, it's saying a lot, and especially with what New Orleans had last year. They didn't have a whole lot cooking last year. And this year, I mean, their backfield is a goddamn catastrophe right now. You're looking at Kamara's been suspended for the first 3 games. They just signed Kareem Hunt, who apparently is coming in to, help Alvin Kamara with
Jamal Williams.
Conduct policy.
so ridiculous. But Jamal, and Jamal Williams is like the antithesis of those 2 guys. Jamal Williams is like Mr. fucking cheerleader popularity.
Yeah.
I do hope that Jamal Williams gets his just desserts in those first few weeks at least.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for him, I think.
Yeah.
Jamal, yeah. Tough
I think
sled.
Kareem, I think he kind of hit that
He peaked.
cliff. Yeah. I think he, just didn't seem to have the burst at all last season with the Browns. Didn't even catch as well out of the backfield. I do think that New Orleans might draw better plays for him, but I don't think he's the same back that was.
No, it's time for him to reinvent himself. He's got to cut off the fucking dreadlocks. He's got to commit himself to New Orleans.
Yeah.
Get a remake,
He's gotta
makeover.
Stop beating up women.
Yeah.
That probably should have been first on the list.
Yeah.
Maybe before the haircut.
Haircut first, buddy. Haircut
Yeah.
first. You gotta look the part. Round 4. Here's the guy that's been screaming up my board,
Here's a guy.
and I'm pissed. I'm pissed because I was getting him much later. Before everybody was drafting, so during the offseason, which is one of the perks of drafting very early. That's Calvin Ridley. If you're not getting Calvin Ridley in round 4, you're probably not getting Calvin Ridley at this point. Calvin Ridley's previous ADP way before the season was rounds like 12 through like 14.
Wow.
Then he started to creep up. You started to see him 8 and 9. But now that you see all this positive camp speak come out about him, and you're looking at his fitness and you're looking at the videos and you're like, oh shit. And then you're hearing him say, I'm him. Like, he looks hungry, man. He's hungry. He's ready to go. I saw some interesting stat projections on him, and it's not just going to be receiving the ball either. They're going to try to move him around the formation. They're going to try to get him coming out of the backfield a little bit. Calvin Ridley in that offense. That offense, if Trevor Lawrence doesn't do it this year, can we say that Trevor Lawrence is a bust? Because I'm just telling you right now, the weapons this dude has. When you have Christian Kirk, when you have Zay Jones, when you have Evan Ingram, when you have Travis Etienne, when you have Dearness Johnson, you got weapons. You got weapons, you horse-looking son of a bitch. So,
Oh my God.
Get angry.
What is he watching? I don't think he's watching us.
No,
so
I
it
think
don't matter.
that does Tara have a thing for Trevor?
No.
Is that the impetus of the hate?
Oh.
He grows his hair out.
Wait a minute. Wait, all you guys are going to turn your back now. Y'all were calling him. What the hell is the
Stampede?
Stampede. There it is.
I wasn't calling him a whatever.
At
whatever
least
you just said.
I was horse face. That's calling him Stampede is the same goddamn thing. You're just not calling him horse face. At least I was tactful. I was calling him Trevor DeGena Lawrence. I was giving him some props.
classier way to call him a horse.
So anyway, Calvin Ridley, round 4, go and get him. Round 5, another guy that's been screaming up the board lately, and that's because of the hype too. We all think that Sean Payton's going to turn this thing around in Denver with Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's going to turn back the clock, and that's Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy's going to eat in this offense. They're going to get him the ball early and often. He has already been one of the cleanest route runners in the NFL, and now they're going to feed him. Javonte Williams looks like you're probably going to ease him into the offense the first couple of weeks. You got Cortland Sutton, who's also been banged up. And now they're starting as their wide receiver 3, a rookie in Marvin Mims because of what's been going on with Tim Patrick and KJ Hamler. So Jerry Jeudy is going to be targeted often. You're looking at a guy that's going to see 150 plus targets if he stays healthy, probably closer to like the 170 range, and he's going to come down with an awful lot of them, guys. So make sure you go out and you get yourself some Jerry Jeudy. My mid-round steal, you're getting him right now in the 9th round value, which is soon to creep up again towards the end of preseason, probably start creeping into the 7th, 8th round. I'm a believer in Elijah Moore. I think Elijah Moore in those mid rounds, everything that I'm reading points to he's gonna out target Amari Cooper, he's obviously aging. Deshaun Watson is going to get this ball in the air an awful lot. You have Njoku, you have DPJ. I get all that. But I think Elijah Moore, I think he's got something to prove. He's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder for it not really panning out in New York last year. And then Garrett Wilson obviously becoming the lead dog there. I think Elijah Moore has a lot to prove, and I think he's going to do it in this offense because, let's face it, they're going to be playing from behind a lot this year.
That one's pretty risky to me. The only reason is because the Browns and the reports are that they're really putting an emphasis on Elijah Moore in the offense. But what if it's one of those things to where it's like not like he isn't like able to take that production, or he's not able to take those looks? Like, is there like a talent issue? Like, why?
I mean, in brief stints in New York, he did show it at times.
Yeah. That's
but
tough,
then he
though.
also disappeared at times. But he had Zach as his quarterback.
But they're also saying that he's owning. And Cleveland, say what you will about Cleveland, Cleveland's defense is pretty solid, and their secondary even more so.
Yeah.
And the fact that they say that Elijah Moore is just beating up their secondary during camp, again, we hear a lot of camp speak, but I think that where there's smoke, there's fire. I think there's some truth to this, and I think Elijah Moore could be that mid-round steal for you.
I mean, I think there's something to be said for being happy where you're at. I think it wasn't working out in the Jets. For whatever reason, he was in the doghouse, argued with the coaches. But if you look back, what they didn't like about him was that he was very, very critical of Zach Wilson, who they just gave up everything to bring Aaron Rodgers over.
Bad locker room guy.
Yeah, maybe, or maybe he was just correct.
Yeah, I was going to say, the penalty for being right is being ushered out of town.
To the Browns,
Yeah.
which used to be like, that's where like Odell, when OBJ got traded to the Browns, we're like, dang, that sucks.
Oh, shit, is he dying?
Or when the Browns, like, what was it, trade and sign for Landry or something like that? Because I don't think Landry signed with the Browns.
Who?
Landry.
Jarvis? No,
You
it
traded
was
for
a
him?
Trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, they traded.
We're like,
for him.
dang.
They traded
Now-
and reconfigured his contract to give him the
that's what it
contract he
was.
wanted.
Now Moore goes to the Browns. Like, hey,
Yeah.
there might be a little light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Okay, I do want to say something real quick about Browns wide receivers. He's not on my list, so I feel like now's a good time. But Cedric Tillman, if you play Dynasty, especially, I think that's a guy I would trade for. I mean, big names like Steve Smith Sr., like a bunch of just prolific wide receivers, and a lot of camp talk and just a lot of Twitter analytics are saying that Tillman is going to be good. I mean, he did well in college when healthy, so I don't know, just food for thought.
Yeah, I mean, I picked him up in my deep, or our deep dynasty league, and I do think he's got the size, the strength, the speed,
Yeah.
the route
He did it when he
running
was
ability.
healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the SEC.
And I think it may be like you're probably going to stash him and wait for next year because I don't think the Browns are going to probably re-sign Amari at $20+ million, which what it may cost. So.
And I like Cedric. And NFL during the draft, I was texting you and I was saying that the Browns should take Tillman in one of these spots because they had a couple of picks that were very close. And I love Tillman. I loved him in college. I think he is going to translate in the NFL down the road too. So good call on that, Zach.
Very
and
cool.
lastly, my late round flyer. The guy used to be a good wide receiver too. Now he's going to be a fire wide receiver 3 in Dallas, and that's Michael Gallup. Don't sleep on Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup, when he's healthy, is a very consistent, fantastic wide receiver. Now the fact that, bringing Brandon Cooks, the fact that they have Brandon Cooks, Dak has some weapons to play with here. They're obviously going to a much faster offense, getting Zeke out of there, shifting to Tony Pollard full time. CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks are going to take a lot of pressure off the top of those defenses. You're going to get Gallup, I think, just eaten underneath. I know we're not huge on wide receiver threes, but there are a few out there that will produce, and Gallup is one of those guys. And he's a Brandon Cooks injury away from being, again, a wide receiver, too, in Dallas. And I really like Michael Gallup where you can get him. You're getting him around 17.
KJ Osborne, another wide receiver 3.
Yep.
Or maybe 2, technically, with Addison.
Yeah, no, I think KJ Osborne is going to factor in as the wide receiver 3 there, too. Mm-hmm. Like I said, there are a handful. And we've mentioned Tyler Boyd's another one. Tyler Boyd's another wide receiver 3 that we like. Zay Jones was another wide receiver 3 that we liked. I mean, we do like our wide receiver 3s, but again, late.
Yeah,
especially best ball formats.
What he said.
Yeah, you want them to put in that one like 30-point game where one of your studs just shits the bed.
All right. I guess I'll go right next. We talked about this wide receiver on other episodes, but hey, you're here because you may have not seen the rest of the episodes, and I'm not taking Cooper Kupp in the first round. There are a lot of receivers that I think are good. And that's probably why. I mean, I don't think Kupp would be necessarily a bad pick. Like, you're not losing your league because of this. But we talked about Matthew Stafford's injury. We talked about Cooper Kupp's injury and age. That's fine in itself, but I also think it's just the Rams in a whole. So, like, if Stafford goes down again, they might look into maybe moving Kupp, playing him less. It's just the Rams might switch directions, and that could affect Kupp's offense. It's not that Kupp couldn't produce with a backup quarterback, because that's possible. It's the other stuff that happens there. And, I mean, hey, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, Jettis, they're receivers in the first round I love a lot more than Kupp. So I'm staying away from Kupp in that dead zone of 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to push back on you right here, right? Because you're looking at a guy that's 6'7", right? I think where he's being drafted this year, I think you can safely pick him up right in that 6, 7, 8th round or 8th overall pick region. Because he is the focal point of that offense. He is what they have. He is it. Cam Akers is not the guy. Stafford is going to be looking Kupp's way. Kupp averages double-digit targets a game. I mean, blonde Julian Edelman is fucking fantastic. The guy, it don't matter. Nothing's going to keep him down. He's probably going to be ready for week 1. He may miss a game or two, but I honestly think if he doesn't average double-digit targets this year, I will be super shocked. Because last year, when again, they were kind of transitioning and that team was shit. Allen Robinson played like hell. The Stafford injury, everything, they still looked Kupp's way. Kupp is he's a volume whore. He's going to get the targets because the guy gets separation.
Yeah. No, I mean, and before he got hurt, he was looking to be another wide receiver 1 again.
Yeah.
I look at the first round from like a bird's eye view instead of what would happen with Kupp, and I say I'd rather Chase, I'd rather Jettis, I'd rather Tyreek Hill. I'm not taking Kupp because of that. I think
because you're a bird.
Kupp's not a bad pick, but he's not my pick. So
I get it. Man, this panel, man, we're really upbeat tonight.
Why are you looking? I mean, I'm trying to let him talk.
Going on here.
The
trying to give him his space.
Round 2. Round 2 almost went Garrett Wilson. Nothing wrong with Garrett Wilson, but I am targeting Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think you can't go wrong with either of those players, but Amon-Ra St. Brown averages the receptions that Kupp gets as well, and he's going to be on, I think, going to be an insane offense. Everything stayed together. Ben Johnson's there. Goff in the second year of a really good momentum swing. The fact that Williams is going to be out for 6 weeks at least. St. Brown just has more to prove. I think he always has a chip on his shoulder, and I don't. If you're getting like 16 looks a game, I'm taking you, and I think he could be like a top 5 wide receiver this year.
I do like Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think you're right there. That offense is high octane. They are the NFC Jaguars, so their only downfall could be is if they traded for Trevor Lawrence.
Nice.
Yes.
Short blonde to long blonde, basically. That's what you're saying. Yeah. Goff to Lawrence. Alrighty, we already talked about Chris Olave in the 3rd round, so I won't really go into it much. I will say I think the stat about dome teams is a real stat. Chris Olave and the Saints play the most dome games, especially at the end of the year when weather is an issue, when you saw players like Josh Allen and other first through third round players that you picked up have kind of stinkers near the end of the year. Just the one stinker. That's it. And also, I mean, I don't know. I think Carr Olave. If you guys think I don't like Derek Carr, I'll say I think Derek Carr to Chris Olave is going to be a good connection. So
Oh, wow.
there, I said it. Give a little bit of
Came
love
around.
to Derek Carr.
Yeah. Clip that.
And then after Mark said Chris Olave, he said Calvin Ridley, who I've been banging the drum on Calvin Ridley this entire year or offseason. I mean, same reasons. I think Calvin Ridley's going to be really good. He was underrated, not anymore. Properly rated, probably with ADP. Go ahead and take him. He's going to be what Christian Kirk was, but better. After that, I have Jerry Jeudy, and it's kind of weird that we're going back to back because it's the same shit.
This is scary.
You have Jerry Jeudy where?
I have Jerry Jeudy in what is this
Round 5.
Yeah.
You both have him around 5?
Yeah.
Because he's going in round 4.
No.
No, I got him in
That's
round
what
5.
Yeah, I had him at 4.
On 80 and on
RTS
RT.
4.93.
No, I've got him.
He's fourth round 9 pick.
No, he's 59th overall.
Yeah.
60.10.
So right at the end of round 5.
12 team league, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
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 Jerry Jeudy,
Oh,
going to
you
be
were
good.
doing 10 probably.
Mark said the same thing. I will then move on to Brandon Ayuk, who if I'm looking at these wide receivers as must-haves with this list, it's Amon-Ra St. Brown and it's Brandon Ayuk.
What happened?
No. I'm just,
What did you just show me?
He's going in the fourth. I mean, by RTS, it's in a 12-man league, he's going 4th round.
He's going to 5th.
He's going to 5th. 60. He's 60.
Yeah. Divide that by 12, right?
5.
5 times 12
Exactly.
60.
He's going 4.91. He's 59th. So he does cut. He's out of the 4th round.
60.10. It
What are
says
you
it
talking
right
about,
here.
Rocky?
When did you
I'm
screen?
that-
looking at
Doesn't matter.
numbers.
When'd you
should probably
screen-
cut this out.
When'd you screenshot?
Why? No, we're going to leave it in.
He's going 59th in
When'd you
RTS,
screenshot
not
RT?
60.
He probably got RT like a day or two after us when he crept up like 2
Oh, yeah,
spots.
60 would be the end of round 5.
He said 4.9, so the end of the
No,
4th.
yeah, no.
Beginning of the 5th.
60 would be the 5th round. 59 would be 4th round, last pick in the 4th round.
He's getting you on a technicality.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
So you're wrong, Phil. Just say you're wrong. Rocky wants to hear you say you're wrong.
I don't know that I'm wrong yet. Maybe I'm having a brain fart.
I don't think it matters because I do think RTS changes their, but I think I went right off what you sent.
So maybe I'm wrong.
No,
Am I
you're
wrong?
not. You're not wrong.
Am I
He
wrong?
could have gone either late 4th, early 5th.
So
Wait.
in true Rocky fashion, this is what he did. You ready?
Wait.
So they break down ADP. They have the average ADP number to the left.
Yeah.
Right? Then they have the player, and then they have position, team, bye week, right?
Yeah.
So his average ADP is 60.1, putting him in the 5th
59.7,
round.
yeah.
But if you count down, he's the 59th player on the board. So he counted. He counted these
I
fucking
100%
guys.
did count.
Yeah.
I
He
wanted to make
counted
sure.
down.
Like, I think there's got to be
But so-
integrity in our numbers.
Right.
Or he's going in a 4th round.
Right, but the
Late 4th
ADP,
round.
the ADP shows you the average. So he's averaging 60.1. So it's either he's taken 59th or 61st
Well, but the average of what?
where he's being taken in every
Average
draft.
of how many different sites? 3. We were going by RTS.
All right, so what pick is he going? Is it the 59th pick?
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, he's going to 59 pick. ADP, average ADP is 3 sites.
Which would 59th pick is still the 5th round.
It's
though.
the end of the 5th round.
It's the end of
No,
the 5th round.
End of the 4th.
No, it's not.
No,
So round
48
one,
is the end of
round one
4.
is picks 1 through 12. Round 2 is picks 13 through 24.
maybe I
Round
said it
3
wrong.
is 25 through 36. Round 4 is 37 through 48.
If you divide
Round 5
59
is 49 through 60.
Oh,
divide
shit.
59 by 12.
Yes. 5. But it's
Yeah.
in the 5th round.
It's in the end of the 5th round.
4.
No.
You still don't get it, huh?
Maybe not.
What's 4
Maybe
times
not.
12?
4 times 12 is 48.
Okay, that's the end of the 4th
That's the
round.
end of the 4th round.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got 4 other picks, right?
What do you mean?
But that's the 5th round.
Okay. So then I stand
So it's
corrected.
the
I'm
end
wrong.
of the 5th round.
Oh, so you're wrong, and now you have
yeah.
to say you're wrong to Phil.
But now
I
you have
said
to
I'm wrong.
now you have to apologize to Phil for trying to
Everybody
make
was
him
dead. What the
apologize to
fuck?
Rocky.
I just want to get this over with.
I don't really want to apologize, but I'll say I'm wrong.
You don't have to apologize
But
to
I'll
me.
say I'm wrong.
I just want to say you made me feel like I'm stupid.
I'll admit that I'm wrong. How about that?
Okay.
I'll admit that I'm wrong.
I'll get back to my turn, please, and
the
thank
hell
you.
was that?
Yeah, now we're going long, and I was the one.
Oh, we were
telling
going
you-
long already.
Yeah, I was telling him not to go long, and then I got us into this muck.
Fucking foghorn leghorn over here.
If Zach had a big
Lord.
board of players that he would take in every league possible of any position, Amon-Ra St. Brown's on it. Brandon Ayuk is on it. Brandon Ayuk getting in round 6 through 7. I'll put a little bit of cushion on those rounds there.
Yeah.
He was in the doghouse when he first got drafted. He got out of the doghouse. Last year, he averaged around 12 to 13, which is a very healthy number for a flex. He is the only true wide receiver on that team, and he's really the only wide receiver I trust because I don't trust Deebo Samuel. Purdy will be back. And if it's not, it's Sam Darnold slinging it to Brandon Ayuk, who's being underrated by defenses and underrated by fantasy drafts.
And he was the only one that Brock Purdy also trusts, as you could see,
Yep.
when he averaged double-digit targets at the end of the year.
I like Brandon Ayuk. I think that's a sleeper. My actual sleeper in the late rounds, rounds 10 through 11, you can get Quentin Johnston. At first, I wasn't too high on Quentin Johnston, but then I started to think about it. I pondered, and I said, hey, Mike Williams and Keenan Allen both have injury concerns. There's a real possibility that they miss out on a few games last year. And if you're putting in like Josh Palmer and the other random wide receivers that they have there that were rookies or sophomores, I mean, insert the first round pick that you guys had, pair him with Justin Herbert, who you just inked, like Phil said a few episodes ago, and I think you got a good little pair there. And you're taking him with your 10th or 11th pick. I think that's a good quote unquote wide receiver handcuff.
Way to go deep cut there, Zach. 10th or 11th pick. Jesus
That's-
Christ, why didn't you
that's
just
a
tell him
deep
who to
cut.
take in the first round?
Listen,
a little bit of
10th,
a- it's
11th
late.
round. Normally, guys are getting up and leaving the draft.
That's true.
You know, so like
The men are made in 10s and 11.
Okay.
10 and 11's mid-round.
Honorable mention, fuck you, Mark. Honorable mention,
Yeah,
Justin
fuck you,
Ross.
Mark.
Ready for this?
No.
Justin Ross.
Yeah, but I feel
going undrafted and looks good.
You don't have to impress Mark. Don't worry about it.
No, there's my. He's not even being taken in drafts. Justin Ross.
I've been telling people to stock on.
Yeah, you heard it here. Justin Ross.
Take Justin Ross.
Justin
and
Ross.
Keep on your dynasty. Yeah.
Yeah, he is a good.
I think we
dynasty
heard
ride.
it here first. I think it was Rocky.
No, I said it first.
I think you're
technically.
just echoing
No,
what
I
Rocky
said
said.
No, I 100% said it first.
Now
but
apologize to
it's
Rocky.
A good pick.
Apologize to Rocky.
No, you said no. In pure Rocky fashion, said John Ross
Pure
a few
Rocky.
Episodes ago.
He did say that.
John
Now
John's Ross.
John Ross III, who is now retired.
I feel like we're all going to apologize to
Now
each other.
apologize
I'm
to
not
Zach.
apologizing for
Yeah,
shit.
no, apologize to me.
I'll die first.
I want to hear it.
All right, you guys ready?
Yep, go for it.
I don't know if I can contain myself
So
here.
my guy to avoid in the first round is Mr. CeeDee Lamb. I said it a few episodes ago. Cooks, Gallup is back. I never really bought into Lamb. I mean, the talent's there. So let me stop being biased. But the talent's there. But I'll say this: he had his best season last year. It was in the absence of another legitimate wide receiver threat. You bring in Cooks, you get a healthy Michael Gallup. I think that's going to eat into his target share. He's number 47 in the league in separation, number 65 in contested catches. So when he's covered, he's not coming down with the ball as much as his perception would lead you to believe. And I just think where he's going, 7th in fantasy points last year among wide receivers in the first round, I'd rather take somebody else. Second round, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm not going to drone on about him. You talked about him, but I will reiterate 146 targets, 4th in yak, 28% target share. Williams is suspended. I don't know if they're going to be, like you said, like the greatest show on turf, but I think they'll be really good, and he's going to be a big reason why.
He'll be a top 5 offense. He'll be a top 5 fantasy receiver. It's my prediction.
Yeah, I think see him being top 5 just because of the volume. In the third round, I jumped a few guys, and like going against what you said, I still like Amari Cooper. I still think he's going to be solid. 18th in yards per reception, 132 targets last year. He'll lose some of those targets to Elijah Moore, but I still trust Cooper. He's just been consistent. And some of the other guys in that area, like, yeah, there's super high upside. But when I'm picking there, my upside, I just want somebody that I could count on. And maybe it's just a bias thing with Cooper because I've had him for a few years, but...
So you're comfortable then? You get him in the third round, you're like, all right, cool, I got my pick? Or I don't know. For me, I think I'm a little unsettled.
It depends on where I'm going in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah.
So,
I would agree with you, though.
like...
I think Cooper's underrated realistically and in fantasy perspectives. He did really well with Brissett. He has a whole offseason with Watson. I think he's there.
It depends because, all right, so typically when I'm drafted, I'm going running back early. So if I'm spending high capital on running back in the first 2 rounds, a lot of times I'll go back-to-back running backs. If I could wheel back and get Cooper, I do feel good with that because I really invested in the running backs, and a guy that I'm almost sure he's going to get me 12 to 13, and he could get me 20 to 22 sometimes. I'm good with that if I invested at running back. But I did jump a few guys. I mean, I jumped Breece Hall was ahead of him, T. Higgins. But I just like the
Breece Hall, the wide receiver.
floor. No, I'm just saying guys that I could have got before him that are going before him.
You're saying like in a mock.
Theoretically,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
having a mock in his mind right now.
Well,
I'm just
ADP,
saying,
I mean, you guys
jump.
were talking about running backs galore. So I'm just saying.
Huh?
When he was picking, he kept talking about.
Oh, like Kareem Hunt and stuff.
Yeah. Sorry. My bad. I'll be quicker, guys. Jerry Jeudy.
Thought you weren't gonna
I took in
apologize.
the 4th round as opposed to the 5th round. I'm really high on Jerry Jeudy.
Sucker.
Hey, listen, if you have conviction, you go with it. I like Jerry Jeudy for all the reason you guys said. And Calvin Ridley, yeah, I mean, the hype train is there, but I don't believe it yet. I mean, I have to see it. He's been gone a long time. I know he thinks he's as good as he was. I still have to see it happen. And I think Jerry Jeudy, in a bad year last year, still produced. I know what his floor is, and I'm comfortable with that floor and the upside that he has with Sean Payton. DJ Moore is my 5th round guy. He's going at 63. He was 21st in targets, 12th in target share, ranked 4 in deep targets last year. And I think he's that guy that they hoped Claypool was going to be. They're going to test downfield. I mean, Fields got a big arm, could break the pocket, make things happen. I think it's a big year for DJ Moore, along with the gadget plays they're going to give him the ball around the line of scrimmage. I love DJ Moore. I think he's like, to me, he's this guy, Amon Ra.
I love DJ Moore too, man. I'm glad you mentioned him.
Oh,
I
now
think
you're on my side.
Well, no, I mean, obviously being a Bears fan, Justin Fields probably the best. I mean, just look at the guy. Look at the guy head on. He's probably got the best peripheral vision in the league, hands down.
He's built like a turtle.
So the only place he's not going to find DJ Moore is dead center of the field. Everywhere else, DJ Moore is in play. Justin, my boy, hit him up for a big season.
I think that offense is. I think the dynamic of them two on the field together. I don't know if people are thinking about it in this way, but the way he can stretch the field and kind of get attention if they use him properly, if they put him in motion, and Fields being able to break the pocket, I think it's going to be trouble for the NFC North. And as my deep picks, I was going to mention Hyatt, but I'm a Giants fan. I'm wearing a Giants shirt, so I'm not going to do that. I do like Alan Lazard at 137. 100 targets last year from 60 targets the year before with Rodgers. Do I think he gets more than that? Probably not. But I think in that offense, where defenses are going to be really focused on Wilson, I think he's the second most viable receiver. I like Hardman, but he's never proved to be a consistent wideout and really a fantasy factor. So I like him there, and I like Alec Pierce still. I like Anthony Richardson there, and Pierce is the big play guy, I think, in
big
Indy.
receiver. He's over 6'2", I think.
Over 6'2", and he's got speed, and he can high point the ball.
Yeah.
That's my list, guys.
Very good.
So I'll go with my list then, and there's going to be very few unique names until we get to my late round picks.
That's good.
Although I think you've even mentioned one of my late round picks. The receiver I would avoid in round 1, and I think you said him already, and I agree that there's nothing wrong with Cooper Kupp. In fact, if he stays healthy, he's as likely as anybody to be the number 1 receiver in the league. I just don't believe that there's going to be that combination of him staying healthy and Stafford staying healthy. I also do like some of their other receivers. I think the rookie they drafted has shown out in camp. And I think that Van Jefferson is a pretty good secondary wide receiver. So
Don't forget about Ben Skoranek.
You did get killed. You did a little killed for that.
yeah,
People were asking for some checks.
Yeah, what
that's
do they
why
know?
that's why I was really happy that you kind of like put him there too.
Well, I didn't mention the good wide receiving core around him.
Yeah. Well, no, because and I guess we'll get to that. In the second round, the guy that I like is Devontae Adams. I think that if you look at him, he's only had 1 year where he has had less than 100 receptions and less than 1,300 yards. That's in the last 5 years. So, yeah, you got some years with Rodgers, but you got some years with Carr. there were a lot of good receivers on probably both those teams, but for sure, I think Las Vegas actually had some pretty good receivers.
Henry Ruggs especially.
Yeah, so the only time, he likes to go fast.
Yes, he does.
But the
Real
only
speedster.
time that
Cargo
he
room.
hasn't had that, over 100 and over 1,300, is 1 year when it was an injury-shortened season. At third, I agree with you on Amari Cooper. I do love Elijah Moore. I think you mentioned Elijah Moore, or did Mark mention? I do like him, and I think that he is that great slot receiver, but I think Amari and Deshaun had a chance to work on some chemistry. I think he is still a great route runner, a great receiver, and I think he's going to be fed first. So I think he could be somebody who really maximizes targets.
Yeah. More maybe next year.
Yeah.
I can get behind
Yes.
that. I think Coop's got
Well,
a good year with the Browns.
And I think a good year for Moore is probably going to be like 70 receptions, maybe 900 yards.
Yeah.
He's never done that before.
Yeah.
I think Cooper, he might stretch into that 1,200. He might have
He almost
8
did
to
last
10
year.
touchdowns. Yeah, 8 to 10 touchdowns. Next, I had Jerry Jeudy. I also took him in the 4th round as we
Man,
have,
so fade Jerry Jeudy or buy into Jerry Jeudy?
Everybody in this panel chose Jerry Jeudy. I like the fact that
That's yours, my bad.
Sean Payton is leading the offense.
Playing with it.
I like the fact that Russ's second year.
It's cute.
Their third receiver is an unknown right now because they've had some injuries, and so I think Jerry's ready to take his place. I had DJ Moore in the 5th.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, which is terrifying because we're kind of talking up the Bears here. I do think Justin will make a step up.
Yeah.
I think he could make that step up that Jalen did from his first year to his second.
That's what they're saying now.
And
yeah.
I think DJ has looked the best in camp. Mooney's a good secondary receiver. I think, all things considered, Claypool being there is going to help, but I think DJ Moore. And then for my two late, I have one going somewhere around 193, and that's Van Jefferson. I am a believer in Van Jefferson. I think he is a good secondary receiver. He's only had one season where he's been able to go the whole way, and it was actually a pretty solid season. So I think he is somebody who, where you're getting him, he's got pretty decent upside. And then I've got Tyler Boyd, who you mentioned. He's one injury away from being a number 2 receiver in a potent offense, and he's going somewhere around 173 right now.
So discount, double check, basically.
The man almost left and got paid too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stayed in Cincinnati.
Yeah. Jefferson I have on a dynasty team, so I do think he's somewhat of a bargain bin player. In a good way. That wasn't a slight.
Yeah. I think where you're getting him, again, at that deep in drafts, you're looking for upside, right?
Yeah.
So
I just love what the public's going to do to you. They're like, you're down on Cooper Kupp, but you're up on Van Jefferson, not knowing who's going to quarterback.
I'm not down
them
on
Rams.
Cooper Kupp. I just don't know. I mean,
You're looking at the first round.
Yeah. Well, he's had more targets than anybody. He's been hit a ton.
Yeah.
He's getting a little bit older. He does. I mean, he's a big receiver, so he's not like easily hurt. But I just think there's this calf injury. Is it the calf injury?
Hamstring right now.
Hamstring. That just worries me because you got it.
Soft
You got to
tissue
have it
stuff,
to
yeah.
go. To go quick. So
The hammy.
Yeah.
So we should, guys on draft fashion, go through and say to the camera.
Okay, yeah, we'll do
But
that.
we should.
Any honorable mentions really quick before we do that?
I didn't put any because I didn't think we were going to be doing it, but I'm sure there are some.
Do you have any?
There's definitely.
I thought of
Do one, yeah.
I could think of Zay Flowers
You like Zay Flowers?
Yeah.
I said Hyatt.
because of
This would be mine.
Flowers, just because OBJ and Bateman can't really stay on the field, and even if they do, how potent are they going to be on that offense?
Yeah.
I think Sky Moore. I think you can swing
like
and
that
even
one.
miss
Yeah.
with
I like
Sky
that one.
Moore.
Yeah. Any
where you're
Chiefs
getting
receiver.
him,
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
you're
I think
also
he's somebody who's got capable of high upside.
yeah.
And they
he's
like
got
him.
extremely high
Yeah.
upside.
Came on some toward the end of the season last year. I had DK in certain drafts is starting to fall,
Yes.
and I kind of like the fact that JSN is going to kind of clear out the slot for him. I think DK is going to be open a ton. He's got 2 other great receivers now. I think Geno's more comfortable in the offense, and he might take the reins off a little bit.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
what we should do too is I think we should preemptively stop our listeners from giving us a bunch of shit by saying what we think they're going to say.
Okay.
So like they're going to rip us about Jerry Jeudy. He's never caught for over 1,000 yards in a season. What makes you think that he can go in round 5, let alone round 4?
I mean, some of their
Dude
comments
has
are
no brain.
fantastic. Never draft again.
You know how I know you're
That's my
casual?
favorite.
Because you're selecting a Bronco. You're casual.
Clue in, guys. I mean,
Dude,
you
these are
gotta
big-
project a little bit.
Big brain, deep thoughts, man. We're just not regurgitating shit that we see, man.
Yeah.
We're using that shit that we see. We're putting it through here, and then we're giving you what we see.
Nobody's ever won a fantasy championship by picking all the best players from last year.
Yeah, dude,
No,
you
in
can't
fact,
go
it's-
chalk.
Yeah.
Or ADP.
I mean,
in general.
To win it, at least maybe in your league, because I did have one of our listeners send us his draft, and when he told me it was 12 teams, I said, "Who the hell
Oh
are you?
yeah, I forgot.
Oh, yeah.
Who the hell
In
are you
CHALKBOARD,
drafting?"
right?
Yeah. Who
Yeah.
the hell are who? I mean, who's drafting with you?
Yeah, because his team is good, right? You're
Yeah,
saying?
they're like developmentally
Yeah.
slow. I
I
can't
even
figure
said
out.
that. Wow, that was very that was politically correct the way he said that. That was
Yes.
funny how he.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
I was
Total
careful. To
backhanded-
Oh, yeah, we're gonna do our-
backhanded slight. As if it made it any better, though.
Yeah.
But I
Right.
mean, like in our leagues, don't you feel like at least half the teams, they know every bit as much as we do. They're digging into it too. So
Yeah.
you're going to have to take some chances if you want to, take
You
all
have
that
to.
ground.
Yeah. All right, Mark. Go through your 5.
So
or
I would-
yours, whatever it was.
I would just say, I don't know how you want
Like round 1, avoid.
Yeah,
Boom.
you can
round
do it
2.
like that,
yeah.
yeah.
Round 1, avoid Jamar Chase at his ADP. He's not worth third pick appeal. Round 2, go out and get Garrett Wilson. Big numbers. Going to be wide receiver 1 this year. Round 3, go and get yourself another Ohio State product, Chris Olave. Round 4, guess what? He's not just good at gambling. He's good at catching footballs. Calvin Ridley, round 4. Round 5, I like the value on him. You don't want to stretch out too far, maybe. I like him at 5. That's Jerry Jeudy, my mid-round pick here. I don't know why I'm going with a Brown. I must be developmentally challenged myself. Elijah Moore, go out and get him somewhere around round 9. And for my late round pickup, round 17, go out and get yourself the third horseman, Michael Gallup.
All right.
Tough act to follow. I will not be doing that. I just
Please
don't,
do,
I just don't
some
have
kind
it
of
in my
impression.
bones. Yeah, I was just gonna go Cooper Kupp, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Okay, I'll try a little bit. What do you say? Wide receiver to avoid, right? So
Yeah,
okay,
round
yeah.
1, avoid. Yeah.
Round 1, the wide receiver to avoid is Cooper Kupp. In round 2, I am taking Amon-Ra St. Brown all day. I think he could be a top 5 wide receiver in a top 5 offense. Chris Olave, I'm taking in the 3rd round all day, every day. Dome teams are a real thing in the car. Chris Olave connection will be there. Calvin Ridley, I'm taking in the 4th round. He's trying to earn his. Let me redo that one because I had a good quip and I forgot about it. Yeah. What did he say? He was like, I'm going to try and earn back what I lost. Calvin Ridley is going to try and earn back what he lost like a true gambler. I'm taking him, scarfing him up in the round 4 all the time, all the day, every day. Jerry Jeudy. The Broncos sucked last year. That will not be the case this year with Jerry Jeudy. And then Brandon Ayuk, I'm taking in every single draft I can possibly get my hands on. Debo is not it. Brandon Ayuk is the true wide receiver in the San Fran offense. In rounds 10 to 11, Quentin Johnston, Keenan Allen could go down, Mike Williams could go down, Johnson could only go up.
Oh, that's all you guys. All right, I thought you had one more. All right.
I could go Justin Ross too.
Yeah, go Justin Ross.
Okay, yeah. Justin Ross, you saw it on Twitter.
You heard it from
You're
Rocky.
going to see it in. Justin Ross is the Chiefs receiver to take. Mahomes is going to be throwing to Ross. You're going to want to get him in the late rounds of your fantasy draft.
All right, so my first round to avoid. CeeDee Lamb, no more Kellen Moore. I think it's going to affect things a lot more than people think. Second round, guy I'm targeting also, Amon-Ra, 146 targets last year. Just stupid. Round 3, Amari Cooper. Slow and steady wins the race. The guy just produces. He's not flashy, but you can count on him. Round 4, Jerry Jeudy. Finally time for him to break out with Sean Payton at the helm. I think it's a big year for Jerry Jeudy. DJ Moore, the Swiss Army knife, the guy they brought into town to make the Bears relevant again. I think he has a big year. Then my mid-round pick, Alan Lazard in New York. New quarterback, new team, same quarterback. Whatever I'm saying, they know each other. I think they're going to have a pretty damn good year. And my late-round pick is going to be Alec Pierce, another playmaking wide receiver with a new quarterback with a big arm. and playmaking ability, and I'll throw in Jalen Hyatt because I'm a Giant fan.
Yeah, he looked good. He's looked good.
You almost
looks
said you almost said ribbed pick, mid rib,
Mid-rib?
the McRib
I'm
pick.
hungry.
Yeah. All right, so my first round pick to avoid is going to be Cooper Kupp. Again, if he's healthy, he is as likely as anybody to be the best receiver, but I don't think that's going to happen. So avoid Cooper Kupp. In round 2, I'm taking Mr. Consistent, Devontae Adams, and he's also being thrown to by absolutely the best looking quarterback in the NFL. We know this. In round 3, I'm taking Amari Cooper. He's going to be, I think, the Browns' leading receiver. In 4, I'm reaching for Jerry Jeudy. I think he's going to have a monster year. And in round 5, I also am going with the Chicago Bears. This is scary to say, but I'm going DJ Moore. And then in my mid pick, I'm going Tyler Boyd. I think he's going to be a great value where you can pick him up. And then somewhere around pick 193, I like Van Jefferson as a deep stash.
And time. I don't know where we're at.
Oh,
I think we did pretty well.
we were at 47 minutes.
That's not too bad.
We do got to close the show, though, right?
Huh?
We do got to close the show.
Oh
though.
yeah, I'm working on it.
Yeah.
I'm getting there.
Are you?
Close the show,
Yeah.
Zach.
Yeah, so that was the show, guys. Watch us
Drunk?
next week. We have a guest coming on. We're going to be doing running backs, I believe, 101 potentially.
Running backs with Debo Samuel next week.
Yes. Make sure to follow us on anywhere that you currently follow anything. GON Podcast. Listen to us wherever you listen. And watch podcasts. And join our chalkboard. The link is in the bio.
Yeah.
Ask us anything. Send us your team. We're going to rate it. Yeah. We're gonna give you trade offers. We're going to give you trade suggestions.
Trade offers, huh?
Yeah, we may.
It's been a week.
We may.
It's been a few weeks since I've been here, okay?
Yeah,
Join Chalkboard. It's good for you. It's good for your soul, too.
For your bones.
Peace.
Yeah.